Hey guys, name's Finn. Playing a game late. How could I even do such a thing? I should be kicked off YouTube. No. Anyways, it is the end of life of the party, so let's continue on to the next mission, shall we? Okay.
I hate to admit it, but you were right about the new scripture of the Master Builder. Karras is up to something, and that book is his master plan. It's too bad he's gone into hiding, or I'd make him eat his words.
Karras is fanatical by nature, but now I fear his ambition as well.
Please help me.
You say he's giving these servants as gifts?
Yes, and they must be connected somehow to the scripture. The servants are weapons, and the nobles have just invited them into their homes. I should be so lucky.
And the schematics confirm what my agents presumed. Markham's Isle is the staging area for the Cetus project.
You knew about Markham's Isle? Do you know what it took to get into that office? I don't appreciate you wasting my time.
You are arrogant, Garrett. Yet, you underestimate your own importance to the cause. Your actions have been invaluable.
Do we know what the Cetus project is?
The schematics are too technical to decipher, but the name they reference, Brother Cavador, is the best lead we've had in months.
Then we need him. I'm sure you'd love to ask a high-ranking Mechanist a few questions. I'll go see if I can't convince Cavador to come back with me.
There is much we could learn from him. Lotus, my agent on Markham's Isle, may have information on Cavador. Unfortunately, we've had no word from him for some time.
Then he got careless. I won't make the same mistake.
I have hope that Lotus is still alive. He's a faithful agent and a trusted friend. If you could find him, we would be in your debt.
I just hope you realize the risks I've been taking for you. It's not every day my services come so cheap.
Well, he takes risks for her because he totally cares about her very slightly, I guess. Whoa, this is precious cargo. Now, even though I would call the last mission, Life of the Party, the best in the game, these next few missions, I kind of like them. They have a certain different flavor to them that's kind of not the same as anything, really. Except one of them is, but hey, anyways. Okay, so we gotta go to Markham's Isle, I guess, kidnap Cavador and return with him to my rowboat, find Lotus. He may have some useful information, finally read another passage from the new scripture. The old lighthouse keeper was quite the sailor. Smuggler friend has commissioned me with finding and stealing the man's antique navigation globe. Somewhere in the house, okay. Markham's Isle used to be a base of operations by a band of pirates led by Dark William Markham himself. Dark Markham, okay. Left a substantial amount of treasure behind, find it. Oh, so it's a required objective now, huh? Interesting. Anyway, what am I going to need for this mission? It's nice to know things in advance, isn't it? As before, I'm pretty frickin' decked out, but I guess it never hurts to have a couple of gas arrows. Another healing. Perhaps a breath, since there is some water around, spoiler. Don't have any vines, so I might as well buy a few of those, even though I rarely use more than one. But hey, and probably a bunch more waters, and, well, I don't think I'm ever gonna need fires, so I might as well just, you know, buy a couple of, I don't know. Alright, let's go.
If I were Cavador, where would I be?
Now, one thing to note here is that PS47 Voodoo 3D FX, if I'm remembering that name right, has generously offered to send me a copy of this mission, which has been relit in 32-bit, which he did. Now, this is the original version because I wanted to just do a quick comparison here. Now, the lighting difference in this level might be more subtle than, say, Trail of Blood, where because of the grass or whatever, then it's really blatant. But nevertheless, there is a noticeable difference. So I just want to, you know, take a look at this shadow. It's kind of typically sort of blocky and chunky around the edge. And this is the original version. And this is the relit version. As you can see, it's a lot smoother. Very hard to see the actual edge of the shadow. It kind of fades very nicely. But you can still tell that there's a bit of a shadow there. So, yeah. That's kind of how it is, and it really does look a lot better in general. And I'm not too sure if a couple of the 1.19 capable, like, I'm pretty sure I played at least 1 or 2 fan missions on here, like as a Let's Play, which had been designed after 1.19 was out, and specifically stated needs 1.19 or something. Now, I wasn't paying that much attention to whether they actually compiled the shadows with the 32-bit thing, or the lighting with the 32-bit thing, but I think that if somebody did do that, if people started to do that, it would look frickin' awesome. So, now, I just reloaded a save in this mission. I'm not sure if I should do that. It seems to be working, but I think I should just restart, because different mission files might mess up if you have different saves. I don't know. Anyway, let's, you know, actually play the level. So here's the map, which I somehow have, of Markham's Isle. I just think this level's really cool, because it's this old island, where there's, the Mechanists have set up a base on top of an old pirate base, and it's, I mean, that's just so cool. Pirates, right? I know that I always say, oh, pirates. People always say pirates and expect that it's just awesome just because it's pirate. Well, yeah, okay, so I've made fun of it before. Who cares? Pirates are pretty cool when they're not being gratuitously named on the internet along with robots and things. And yeah, I mean, this is just a really unique level, the likes of which there really isn't any other in either of, well, in any of the Thief series, really. As far as I remember, it's this machine's kind of cool looking and kind of silly looking at the same time. I mean, obviously, this texture was just kind of slapped on here. This thing was modeled more as a shape than as details, but you know, it's a pretty frighteningly scary looking machine and pretty cool. And for some reason, you can go up in here and spin it. I mean, you can stop spinning it, I guess. That's pretty awesome. And then it just sort of makes this gem appear, which is cool. But doesn't make a whole lot of physics sense, but hey, you know, games had to start somewhere with not portraying realism in physics whatsoever. Construction Journal. Our work on the underground facility doth proceed as planned. When first we arrived here on Markham's Isle, we found the cove deserted. The lighthouse stood inoperable, and the house of its keeper lay in near ruin. Whatever pirates did make this place their home departed long before we arrived. The cutthroats did maintain a hidden base neath the lighthouse, containing several shoddy buildings of poor wood. For the most part, we destroyed these mockeries of construction, but those that were sound we left standing to be used for our own purposes. Indeed, on the instruction of Cavador, our new facilities have been built directly into these structures that we did take over. 'Tis sad indeed to see such powerful steel tainted by the touch of rotting wood, but need dictates our actions. The new drilling machine is in truth miraculous. Its bit doth bore through solid granite, and the builder's children canst easily assemble and disassemble the machine wherever need doth compel it. This doth prove most useful when we must needs carve out isolated sections of the caves. My eyes spied another nugget of silver today. The veins are rich with the builder's bounty. Methinks I'll keep this little discovery to mine own self. Oh, that's not the builder's plan! Anyway, now this is interesting because in this book they mention the wood, you know, shoddy buildings of poor wood, mockeries of construction. Now they seem to be talking about wood in this book as in, you know, poorly constructed wood or rotting wood, and they don't necessarily say that they're against excuse me. They don't necessarily say that they're against wood entirely in this book, but later on in the level there's a bit where it kind of makes you wonder. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess this first part is fairly linear. I seem to have been choking on the air a little bit. That's pretty horrible. If I were them, I would have put one single gem over here, but I guess the mechs aren't dumb enough to leave that there. But they are dumb enough not to... Wow, that's a crazy... Huh, it's an interesting formation. They are dumb enough to not flip that handle on their machine again and snatch up a bit of diamond.
It's a long way up.
Yes, it is a long way up, Garrett. So now, he says it's a long way down or up or something. Good thing I'm not afraid of heights. In Thief Gold, he says it's a long way up again here. And then in Thief 3, huge spoiler, he goes, it's a long way, but down is always easier than up. And yeah, so this is Long Tom's Wall. It's a long climb, like as if you couldn't infer that from the name. And now there's a couple ways up. You could go with the elevator, or you could go not with the elevator. But if you go Is there anything underneath? If you go with the elevator, then you'll end up in a Fatboy Slim video being talked about as a comparison to the opposite of what you just did. Ah, no, not the time. Anyways, if you go up the elevator, you're probably liable to be seen, I think. And it might not be what you end up wanting to do. No, yeah. Well, you could get lucky and not get seen, but I'm in a... Yeah. Yeah, set off the alarm. You see him turn red there. And you can hear it. So instead, I'm going to do the thing that it says on the map and climb. But not the long part. I'm not going to long because that's not a thing that you do. And it's a thing that is... And this texture is like the only one in the entire game that isn't high-resed, and it's like really clashing looking, and Cyberg won't have that problem because he's using the non-updated textures, I guess, unless it's just always clashing, in which case... Blah, 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 blah. That's my sort of explanation for what'll happen. Anyways, I think that this camera can be turned off in some way that I can't quite remember where the switch is. It might be over there. Yeah, it probably is over there, but then I always seem to remember being able to climb up on this board above it, but I guess I should probably try going another way. Alright. No, that's... I have to get up here somehow. What's this? Is it a gas arrow? Well, what do you know? I've now got way more gas arrows than should ever exist. Okay. Well, let's just sort of run cautiously to the side, I guess. That sounds like a plan. Alright. I think I'm supposed to really... Whatever. It wants me to go jumping on those ropes. That's crazy. I swear there was a whole other way to climb up by going even further to that side, but evidently not, right? Oh, well. I think... I'm not sure, but I think there's a switch on top of that beam that might turn the lights off down here. Is what I think it might do. I don't know. Gate to lighthouse, gate to workshop. Yeah, it turns the lights off or it turns the watcher off. I don't know whether up or down is supposed to represent open or closed or whatever, but hey, oh well, let's just quickly get the hell out of that thing's face. Yeah, see, there is a switch up there, which probably turns it off if I can even figure out how to get it. Oh yeah, it's supposed to sort of climb around here, I suppose. Alright, so in the hole and down the poker chute to the golf course we go. Okay. Yes, it turns the watcher off and also the light. So it turns the power off, in other words. This is another way to say it turns everything off. It turns off this and that and this and that and this and that. It's kind of like how people deal with prejudice. They take one minority group of people, take 200 years to stop hating them, and then move on to the next which they hate, and then take another 200 years to stop hating them, instead of just doing it one time and saying people who are different than me in some visible way, whether real or imagined, are all good. Nobody ever thinks to do that. But I guess society is kind of crazy, so that would never happen. I don't know what those blue lights are for, though. I mean, there's an alarm, so maybe there'd be red lights. Maybe they turn red. Maybe they're transmogrifying lights. You know, they're magical lights. Anyways, this is a gate to something, and there's obviously another gate to some other thing over somewhere. I guess that's a workshop, so the gate to the workshop is going to be the one that tells me the position, which is open and closed and stuff. And this is the gate to the lighthouse, I happen to presume, so it's open. Man, what happened to that gas? Oh, there it is. Don't need it at all, but if there's something spewing smoke at me, I must pick it up. So if I see somebody who just put out a cigarette right on the floor, I must pick it up and stuff it right in my bag. Okay, so it really is down and up really do signify the correct positions. Now I think I could probably... Oh, this is the top level, is it? Well, screw my screws loose. That was not an offer. What the hell was that? Oh, I wasn't even standing on the elevator. I was standing on... Oh. Anyway, let's just get back up to where we belong. Wow. Yeah, there's the elevator now. This is the workshop, which it doesn't even friggin' note on the map. But that's okay. That power switch seemed to have also turned that off. That, again, well, I guess it is not necessarily trivial to find, necessarily, but, you know, anyway. That texture's misaligned. Ha. Friend Gorick, please make thou haste in repairing this child. That treacherous pagan didst harm it most grievously. But fear not that any more of thy companions will be harmed, for the saboteur has been subdued. Friend Pendulous. Well, pendulous sounds like pendulum, but at least it's not straight up saying, hey, friend, you know, complementary metal oxide semiconductor, friend MOSFET, you know? At least it's not that. I guess those are alarm lights, but they're purple. It's pretty freaking weird, if you ask me. But, hey, apparently there's a well here, but their water is going to be polluted by, you know, some kind of industrial residue, I'm sure. I have no backup for this at all, but hey, what's that weird lever thing on the well? That's pretty weird. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, he's going that way. Yes, there are some robots stomping around in plain view out here, which is terrible, of course, because we don't want anybody stomping. Yeah, I'm gonna go there later, but first I must do a very unimportant thing in this area. But first, I guess I'll sort of go through this hallway and... oh, I see. I don't even have to deal with that guy. Okay. So, now, this... uh-oh. This place here, you're like, how do you get in? Because the lockpicks don't pick. Ooh. Oh, crap. I actually can't remember. I
Hello?
thought...
Reveal thyself.
Uh-oh. Whatever. Well, I do have excessive numbers of gas arrows, so there's that, which is nice. Now, of course, I have to make sure it's not within view of that guard. Probably will be anyway. She did notice, but do I have flash bombs? No, I don't. I've got gas arrows. That's nonsense. Okay, I'd be best served to just not even freaking bother with that guy. Man, the shadows are very much more subtle now here. They're not all like, hey, I'm a shadow all up in your face, which I guess might make them harder to see, but it kind of looks more organic, and to me, I can still tell, but maybe that's, you know, I don't know, like, it kind of intuitive. Uh-oh. Oh, so sometimes she turns this way, does she? Well, I gotta teach you a lesson in turning, right? Left elbow. Partner, here we go. Something or other. I don't know what those lyrics mean in a profound spiritual, philosophical sense, but you'd best heed them if you want to raise a barn, son. Daughter. Long Tom Bombadil. It's odd, because I thought the key was sitting on top of the building. And it's a weird place for it to be, and I don't know why I thought that, but I just... thought I remembered he heard me, right? No, he's just sort of out of earshot. Okay. Oh! I see. There's another mech trying to open that door, but just ending up going right back out. Well, that's a whole other wrinkle to this fabric. We need a whole lot more time to display this wrinkle in our books about weird things that creep you out when you're a kid. Oh, yes, indeed. Error. Fails to understand. I should let those robots speak some more, but, you know, as I say, there's plenty more missions. Even the last mission is like the frickin' mother lode of all robots ever. Come on. So there'll be no shortage of that sort of talk in the last mission, which I'm clearly going to forget to display on camera, too, obviously. Now, as I'm not on the map at all because I'm underneath something, which is just too difficult for computers to process, I could take a look at here, but this is just sort of exactly where it is, and I don't think there's anything actually here other than some crazy hiding spot if you're ghosting, which I recall is kind of tricky around here, maybe. But, I mean, I don't recall very much, do I? My memory is like that of a pig. Squeaky, pink, and very adorable. Yeah, that's what my memory is. And so, basically, if I wanted to jump off this cliff and commit suicide, I could, and it looks kind of like one of those cliffs from Twilight Princess, where you go down and find a chest which just contains money, which you already have too much of, so there's no point in even finding it. Despite its flaws, however, I do kind of like Twilight Princess, but it's nothing to do with this game, so never mind that. This just leads out here, does it? Yeah. Right, well, here comes a conversation for the ages, by which I mean one that you can think about. I like these shutters that are just slapped on there texture-wise and fallen off, and they don't even have any depth to them. I like that they don't have depth to them. It's pretty freaking awesome. Okay. Huh. You guys gonna talk or what? Somebody in here talks. That's odd. Oh well, I guess I'll just...
Soft. It was a noise I heard.
I like how the walls are sort of broken up there. I love destroyed architecture. What? Really? Tell me I didn't miss it by triggering it early and they left or something. That is nonsense, you ask me. God damn it. Unless it's upstairs, but I don't think it is. It must be.
Even below thy feet we extend our workings. The structures those pirates left behind are structurally adequate, but they show their unworthiness in the clear light of the builder's torch. Soon they will be replaced by iron and steel.
The lighthouse seems sound enough. When once I was a hammer.
The Order of the Hammer. Ha! The old ways are dead, my friend. Thou wert right to forsake the crudity of the hammer for the majesty of the gear.
Aye, 'tis true that the old ways are crude, but they can be effective still. Look around you, friend, at these rotting planks and beaten boards. 'Twould take but a hammer and nail to put things right again.
Again you think of the past, of repairing the unworthy wood. 'Tis folly. Begin anew, so that thy buildings know the glory of metal and gear. Something so corruptible deserves not the builder's regard.
Perhaps not, friend, perhaps not. Still, it troubles my heart to look upon such disrepair.
Right, now of course I'm screwed because... Oh, maybe not. Yeah.
I'm as sure of it as the builder himself.
Again though, yeah.
Aha! Thou art caught.
Oh, shut up.
Come
That...
into the light.
Oh, come on. That conversation is not quite as clear-cut. It's kind of left frustratingly ambiguous, because they talk a lot about the rotting wood and the fact that the wood is in poor condition. So you think, again, they're not saying wood is evil or unworthy. They're saying that crappy wood is unworthy to be repaired. But then the guy says the lighthouse seems sound enough. And then the guy scolds him for it, almost implying that they actually are talking about all wood being unworthy. But then they have tons of it in Soulforge, but hey, maybe it's laminate. Maybe they invented plastic. That'd be pretty great. Anyways, I guess there's no reason to even come in here, but, you know, I go in places with no reason all the time. I'm Garrett, and I don't appreciate people wasting my time, but I definitely have fun wasting my own time all the time. Yeah, lovely destroyed architecture, even though it's sort of kind of stupid looking with the square and the pixelicious, but that wood being broken is pretty cool. I suppose chairs tipped over and all sorts of freaking rubbishy nonsense. Yeah. Oh, hey, it's a guy. How's it going? You didn't alert to me when I alerted that other guy to me. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. I don't think there's anything on the roof, though, but it'd be cool if there was. Let's see here. Nah, I don't think so. Except I could jump up onto that wall, which, whatever. There was a guy looking directly at me. That's an odd placement. Oh well, I'm sure there's absolutely nothing of value in the attic whatsoever. I'm sure it's just some dumb, crappy piece of crap attic with literally nothing in it, okay? Okay, let's just read this crappy note. My dearest Virginia, I beseech thee, my love, return not to Starlight Cove. Those notorious pirates are back, and I fear they mean to remain. Last night I overheard two of the scoundrels. I believe they're planning on establishing some kind of base in the underwater caves. I fear for my life, but the time has come to take a stand. To be safe, I've hidden our valuables in the crawl space. My only hope is that the courier ship arrives on schedule so that this letter is delivered to you in time. Your beloved Nathaniel. Well, I guess it wasn't. But apparently there is some type of crawl space here, which... I don't... Oh, hey. What the hell was that? Where the hell was that? Hell the where? Sure, I remember it being in a wall somewhere. That's weird. Well, that's where it came up. God damn it, I hate when there's this sound right up close and yet you don't even see it, you just hear it. Is it in the floor? Like, there's a switch and there's a busted... Oh. So there's something down there. But what just opened? What? Where? I don't see anything. Oh, I'll bet it's on the lower floors, probably. Yeah. No. I don't know about that. Oh, yeah, here. That's weird. I could swear it was in a completely different place. Yeah, here's the door it opened, because, yeah, you could hear it. It's weird. I thought this was up in the attic. Anyways, it's the antique...
Fetch a nice prize.
Yes, antique navigation globe. There's our objective there. And I've now been playing this extremely long for just a, you know, make-up time video. So see you guys later, and bye for now.